Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I'm excited to share a project with you. We're using some items that will soon be in your favorite crafting shop. This is the Say It With Stamps Fall Friends stamp set. It's a larger 6x8 stamp set. This is part of their Photoplay Say It With Stamps recent fall release. It's making your way to the stores. I'm not sure if it's going to be available when I post this video or not, but if it is, I'll list it down below if you guys want to check it out. But the larger stamp sets are nice because the images are larger, and these images are so cute. You get the little, look at the little mouse holding the little fall leaf. We're going to use that one in our project today. And then you get some foxes, squirrels, another little mouse, and then you get some elements that are just even little hedgehog hairs. So cute. So we'll be using this on our card today along with a new die set. This is the Say It With Stamps A2 rounded rectangles die set. It's a nice 9-piece set that has stitched detail. And if you like layering or if you like creating frames, this is a great set to have, and I love both, so I'm excited to share it with you. So we're going to jump in and get started. We're going to start by stamping with our stamp set. I have white cardstock, and then I have the little mouse that is holding the leaf. How cute is that? And then I also have this larger leaf here. And then this dotted detail piece, we're going to emulate some motion, some windy motion in our background. So I'm going to ink up these images with some alcohol marker friendly ink, and we're going to stamp on some white cardstock. And how cute are those images? I just love that. I'm going to take this out of my MISTI, and we're going to stamp one more leaf, maybe a couple more leaves, and then a couple more of our little motion pieces here. Let's see if I can put 2 more on this panel. Wonderful. Okay, so these are the markers that I'm going to be using today. We'll let that camera focus. And then I'm going to zoom in and play a little bit of music while I color. And when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done. I'm going to go ahead and take the coordinating dies. We're just going to tape these down and run these through the die cut machine. And I like that there's the little wind piece. You can die cut out that also. So we're going to just tape everything down and then we'll run these through our die cut machine. Okay, we have our images die cut out and they die cut beautifully. We're going to put these off to the side and we're going to work on our background. For our background, we're going to bring in the Say It With Stamps Clouds and Hills stencil. I love the stencil for scene building. You can create real fluffy clouds and also you can create hillsides with this. We're going to do both. So I have a piece of white cardstock. And I do my clouds a little bit different. I kind of go backwards. So when I'm done, I'll end up having to flip my panel around. But this is just easier for me. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending using 3 different colors of inks. And this is a deep blue, a regular blue, and this is kind of a green blue. I thought we'd throw in a little bit of green just to kind of break up the bright blue sky and kind of keep it a little bit fallish. Okay, again, I'm working backwards. I'm working backwards, so when we're done, we're going to flip around our panel. I'm going to take my darkest ink, which is my dark blue, and just using a blending brush. I like to tap a little off on the side, and then we're just going to do a little bit of blending. If you want to put PIXIE spray behind your stencil, you can, but holding it down will work just fine. And then we're going to shift our stencil like so. We're going to grab in our blue ink. We'll hold it down and we'll just blend our blue. And then I'm going to shift my stencil, and this is where we're going to bring in the green. The greenish, it's like a greenish blue. And with the stencils, the more pressure you put near that edge, the darker it will become. It kind of creates a really nice fluffy look to your clouds. I'm going to show you. And again, I'm working upside down. We're going to flip it around. So I'm just going to continue on until my entire panel is covered. And I'm going to go in this order here. Okay, I'm finishing up with my background. Now I'm going to take I mentioned I'm going to take my panel, I'm going to flip it around, and then we have some fluffy clouds. Now to make it look a little bit even more dimensional, what you can do is take your stencil and you can add an extra layer over the existing stencil top here. And we'll use our blue, would be nice. And we'll just add an extra layer, kind of overlapping them, you can see here. You want to make sure you shift them so they're not the same. And then we'll add another layer here. This really creates a real fluffy, cloudy look. And then I think we'll add some color here too. We'll add some of the blue. Okay. And then I'm going to fill in the bottom with a little bit of color also. So let's go in with our green. So we have some nice and fluffy clouds. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this panel aside. I'm going to clean off my work surface. Now we're going to create a hillside for our background. So I flipped over my stencil. We're going to use the curvy edge and just using some white cardstock I'm going to go towards the bottom a little bit. I have another, I'm going to use that green ink that we use for our clouds, but I also have a regular green that doesn't have any blue tint to it. I think this two overlapping is going to work great. So I'm just going to add a little color. I'm trailing down a little bit with this ink. Once I'm happy, I did trail down towards the bottom. This way they can overlap. I'm going to take my hillside and we're going to do a little bit of overlapping. And we're going to take that blue-green ink and just add some color here. And then once I'm happy with my second layer, I think it looks wonderful. I want to blend both of these together. So we're going to add another layer in between the two. I think that looks good. I'll take my green ink and go back over this here. And then you can see how they're overlapping. I just kind of like that look. I'm going to go ahead and go over the bottom of my stencil with the green. So that is our green background. So we have our cloudy sky and we have our hills. Now we're going to take our Say It With Stamps A2 rounded rectangles. I'm going to take the largest and then also the second to the largest. Now I'm going to take the largest and I'll die cut that out with white cardstock. The second to the largest, I'm going to take this and die cut out my grassy hillside border, and I'll also die cut out my clouds. So I'll die cut and I'll be right back. So we have two of the panels that are same size and then one is slightly larger. I'm going to start by taking my clouds. We're going to flip this around and then I'm going to add adhesive. This is going to go directly. I'm basically matting my clouds. We're going to layer. So we have a white border, kind of framing it. I like to frame things. Then we're going to take this piece and just using my scissors, I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border. I'm going to follow that curve and we're just going to trim that upper portion away. We can save that for another card. And then with this piece, I'm going to use my adhesive. And this is going to go right on the bottom here. You want to line it up to where it follows the stitch lines. And then we have a hillside and then some clouds. Now what we're going to do is take we have our little stitch detail. And we have 3 of these actually. This is nice because it kind of creates or emulates wind. And we want a really windy background here. And if you want it to be really windy, you could take those leftover pieces and add some more to this side if you want it to. But I think 3 is like the perfect amount. So I put foam adhesive behind them. I didn't remove the release paper yet because we're going to stamp our sentiment. I'm actually going to use this piece to stamp our sentiment. And for this card, I'm going to use Autumn Greetings. And we're going to use black ink to stamp this. And then we'll just stamp. And then I'm going to fussy cut around my sentiment, leaving a bit of a border, kind of creating a shadow. So there is my sentiment. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to add some small foam squares behind here. And now is the fun part. We get to arrange our elements. So let's remove the release paper. We're going to add our mouse. And we're going to tilt him to almost so it looks like he's floating in the wind. And I think that looks really cute. What do you think? So I'm going to press down. How adorable. I'm going to flip this panel over. We're going to add some foam tape behind here. Now I went ahead and removed my release paper. I'm going to lightly tack down my card base, which is a top folding standard A2 size card base. We're going to flip over our panel, and I'm going to just directly adhere this to the front of my card base. We're going to evenly space it here. I just think that looks like you're looking through a picture window. I just love this look. Okay, now I do want to add a little bit of shine, so I'm going to bring in my sparkle pen, and I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the leaves here. We want them shimmering. Last but not least, I'm going to add a few clear sequins to my background. I like the clear because it doesn't take away from my fall scene. And it does add some sparkle. We're going to place these where I want them first. And then that will finish off my card today using the Set with Stamps Fall Friends stamp set. Such a cute stamp set, and also the brand new A2 rounded rectangle die set. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.